start?
Let me do this.
What do you think is best? The second edition of the Malta Whisky Fare so far is quite spectacular. There's a lot of people, everyone's dressed to impress, and there's a massive range of whiskey. I mean, you couldn't taste every whiskey even if you tried. So the possibilities are endless. Later we're going to a masterclass with Macallan. That should be very interesting. And yeah, they even had a whole Scottish band going on. Go Malta. Go Franks.
Good. Pay attention to this.
I'm here with,
Andrew Abela from the Wine Boutique Franks.
and Andrew is going to tell us all about the Malta Whisky Fare.
So basically, the Malta Whisky Fare started last year, 2016. The idea came about when I went abroad to Whisky Exchange live in London, and I go up to Scotland like once or twice a year. I've worked in a distillery. We make our own whiskey as well.
Okay, I'm jealous.
So I think I tasted about 50% of the whiskies to say.
And what is your personal favorite? It's hard, right?
A Springbank guy. Yeah.
Springbank,
It's a
yeah?
very small distillery, very much to my heart. But they have fantastic whiskies. They still produce it the same way as they did in 1828. There's a lot of history there.
And how long have you actually been involved in like the whiskey scene, working in whiskey?
It started basically as soon as I graduated in very different subjects. I graduated in philosophy and anthropology. So when I was 22, I started working in the family business, not having an idea about wines or whiskies. And it was a very interesting learning curve, because you know, if you're in the shop, you've got to learn and learn. So that's when I started going abroad, learning, reading, tasting. So I've been in business for this is my 6th year now.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you for coming.
We're really happy to see that Malta is having such a fantastic whiskey fair. We hope to see rum and many other different spirits.
I hope
Gin,
so as
I
well.
hope so as well. But yeah, thanks so much for taking the
Do you
time.
live in Malta?
I do, yeah.
nice.
Yeah. Okay, so I just had a fantastic Ardbeg sherry cask whiskey explode like a massive orgasm in my mouth. I felt like it was like a bonfire. The moment a drop hit my tongue, it was like orgasmic. I can't even begin to explain how amazing the sensation and the flavors were. Okay, I'm talking to Charlo here, and he has introduced me to this amazing whiskey, Ardbeg, which, how do you say this?
Ugadili. I believe so. It's in Gaelic, you know.
Is it Ugadili?
I'm not fluent in Gaelic, so but I believe it's pronounced like that. It's actually the name of the water source where Ardbeg gets the water to produce the whiskey.
Wow, okay.
Yes.
And what do you think about this whiskey?
It's very particular. Ardbeg comes from a small island in Scotland. It's called Islay. It's almost double the size of Malta, and there's 8 at the moment. There's 8 distilleries in Islay, and Ardbeg is one of them. Okay, it forms part of the Moët Hennessy range, which has Glenmorangie as well, apart from champagne and cognac. Okay, and this particular whiskey is aged in oak casks and bourbon casks, but then it's finished in sherry casks. It's an age statement, so we have no indication of how old the whiskey is. but roughly we believe it's between around 8 and 10 years. It's an exceptional whiskey. It's quite high as well on the alcohol percentage. It's at 54%. And sometimes it's even better if we add a little bit of water to it, so it opens it up.
Fabulous. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for telling
Okay,
us.
so what's the vlog name?
It's called Renee Town. Now we're off to the Macallan Masterclass.
Irish whiskies, Japanese whiskies. There are whiskies being made nowadays in Australia, in South Africa, in France. Are there whiskies being made in Malta yet?
Yeah,
There you
well,
go.
made.
See, so there you go. Have you ever had whiskey with steak? It's magic.
So I'm here with Nicola, and she is a brand ambassador for Macallan. I am absolutely so happy to see that there's a female brand ambassador in whiskey. Tell us, how did you get involved with Macallan?
Well, I've been working with the Macallan for almost 6 years now, and I got an interest in whiskey about 12 years ago. I am from Canada, and I have Scottish roots, and so when I was first introduced to whiskey, I fell in love with it, I think first because of the history and heritage, because of my family, growing up wearing a tartan kilt and having those Scottish ties, and then I got into the flavors and the aromas and just all of the details about whiskey. And I never knew that I would fall in love with this spirit so much, but I find it to be an incredible spirit because you never stop learning with whiskey. There's always more to learn, there's more to explore, there's more to taste and understand and enjoy, obviously, as well with friends. And I just think it's such an expressive spirit. And so I pursued my passion, and it brought me to the Macallan, and I feel very grateful for that because I love what I do, and I get to do that every day.
So what would you say to all the other women out there who loves spirits, who want to be ambassadors? How do they get to go by doing what you're doing?
I would say pursue your passion and work hard, continue studying, continue learning. Again, I mentioned that my job, I never stop learning. Every single day I learn something new, and it's one of the things that I love the most about it. And so continue that. Start to understand how things work in the business. Learn classic cocktails, understand bartending, at every opportunity to go to a tasting or to something fantastic like the Malta Whisky Fare. Go and taste, learn, ask questions, enjoy responsibly, of course, but respect your palate and tune into that. One of my original mentors said to me, the reason that I fell in love with whiskey was he taught me to respect my palate and really observe it and not listen to what anyone else said. And when I started to do that and started to really own my palate and my nose and how I work and then ask questions from there, it just infused my passion for it. But there are a lot of great books out there as well, a lot of great festivals like these to attend as well. And then say, how can I get involved? Can you start to perhaps work at your local whiskey fair and get involved that way and be on the other side of the table, suddenly bringing those experiences forward?
And lastly,
Yes.
apart from Macallan, what is your favorite whiskey?
Okay, there's too many.
Okay, but if you have to choose one, the first one that comes to mind.
Highland Park 18. Hands down.
And why is that?
If I were to be placed on an island right now and I had to choose a favorite dram, it would be Highland Park 18 outside of my Macallan. So, and everyone knows that hands down. So,
Okay, guys. From the horse's mouth.
thank you so much.
Very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
1, 2, 3. So what's your favorite kind of old fashioned?
A classic with maple syrup and Angosturas and
Maple syrup?
maple syrup. Oh yeah.
I'm making it with orange bitters and Angostura bitters.
Yeah.